Well, today we're here with Seth Stark, who's the Chief Data Officer for the city, and we're going to talk about what I think is a really interesting tool that we're using that's not maybe well known yet, so that's why we're doing this. It's called GIS, which is Geographic Information Systems. So, Seth, why don't you just kind of explain, first of all, what is GIS?
Yeah, absolutely. So GIS is what I like to tell people when they ask me what I do is it's kind of like Google Maps, but with all of the information that is important to a city. So GIS collects, manages, analyzes, and then reports on data. But it's a really powerful and cool tool because there's a geographic aspect to it, right? So that means maps.
So how is the city using it right now? Internally, it's a lot of mapping. It's a lot of organizing for the programs that you have. But I'm sure there's a wide range of uses right now. Can you kind of sum it up?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of different city departments use GIS. Everything from our planning and economic development departments to our fire departments, police, public works. Some of the more interesting ways that we use it internally are collecting data on things like the condition of structures in our urban core neighborhoods. Are there houses that can be rehabilitated and saved, and where are those located? Other things that we do with GIS, for example, the fire department, we've been putting in a few new fire stations over the last several years. How does that affect response times for our first responders and our firefighters? And that's a question that GIS can help answer.
So you kind of talked about what we use it for internally. Is there a public-facing side to this? How can the public use this now or eventually?
Yeah, so we do have some public tools. Some of the ones that have been in the press recently are the security camera registration through the police department. That's a GIS-based tool. That's just one thing. Probably the most popular tool that we have is the Decatur Digital Atlas, which it's just a map with a lot of good information on it, like zoning information from the city, property boundaries, ownership information, fire hydrant locations, those sorts of things are on the Decatur Digital Atlas.
What is your most exciting, perhaps, future use as we continue to learn about this?
We went and did a neighborhood condition survey back in 2019 for the urban core that I mentioned earlier, and then we went and repeated that survey just last year in 2022. And comparing those changes over time for me are very interesting. It's a lot of really important data for a city to have. It's something that not a lot of cities have done. And so we can not only see what were the conditions of these neighborhoods 3 years ago, but we can assess if the policies and the changes that the city has made in those areas over the last 3 years, have they made a positive impact? That's kind of neat for me. It's not just a static snapshot in time, but it's changes over time to be able to see what's going on in the parts of the city that probably need the most help.
Awesome. Well, we could talk a lot more about GIS and all of its uses, but as we go along, we'll share more about the capabilities that it has and how it's helping drive decisions for the city. So look forward to learning more, but thank you for your time today.
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.